This is Up the Downstairs with Carson Roberts. Today I'm going to talk about the strange, weird, sicko person that was my father, or supposed to be my father. There's doubts that he even was my father, but that's a whole other story. But I'm going to talk about kind of a really comical, funny, sicko experience that me and my sister had with him, and quite humorous, actually. Me and my sister had not seen my father for many years, and I was living back on the East Coast. And so we decided to track him down, and we tracked him down to a town called Florence, South Carolina. Now, this was many, many, many years ago. And so we finally run into somebody who knew my father and knew him and where he was at. So they led us to this old dirt road way out in the boondocks, and we're traveling down this dirt road. It's like 9, 10 o'clock at night, pitch black, no lights anywhere. And finally we come across this one single mailbox out in the middle of nowhere, and it had his name on it. So we said, okay, we're in the right place. So we turned down this dirt road, and we must have been traveling for about a mile. And it was a little weird kind of Twilight Zone kind of feeling. It was just eerie. It was pitch black, nothing but the headlights of our car. But finally, we see these lights in the distance, and we come across these two little small trailers. You know, maybe each trailer was about the size of a bedroom or something, just tiny trailers. And the trailer on the right, we saw all these, the lights were on, so we thought, well, this must be where my father lives. And he was a real loner, and so we figured, well, we're probably in the right place. So we knock on the door on the trailer on the right, and he opens the door, and obviously quite shocked to see me and my sister after so many years. And as soon as you enter the trailer, you couldn't help but notice that the walls were just full of pictures of Jesus and crosses and rosary beads hanging over the crosses, and just full of religious stuff. And like I said, pictures of Jesus everywhere. And we thought, well, this is kind of strange, knowing my father's history. And, my father was an alcoholic, and he was a sexual abuser. He would sexually abuse pretty much anything that was within arm's distance of him. But of course, back then it was all never talked about. It was never brought up. This was many, many years ago. So my father was a pretty perverted, sick guy. So we thought all these pictures of Jesus was a little weird, but he claimed to be a born-again Christian. He claimed to have found Jesus. And it was praise Jesus this and praise Jesus that. And so we had a little conversation, and then after a while I said, well, hey, what's that trailer, next door there? It was about 20 yards away was this other little trailer. And I said, well, what's that trailer? Does somebody live over there? And he kind of got this gleam in his eye and got kind of excited. He said, come on, let me show you what that trailer is. So he pulls out a flashlight, and we walk about 20 yards over to the other trailer. And he opens the door and flips on the light. And the trailer is just decorated from wall to wall with posters. I mean, you kind of felt like you stepped back into the 60s. It was wall-to-wall psychedelic posters, the Jimi Hendrix Experience and Janis Joplin and all kinds of posters like that. And then he flipped on another light, and there was these kind of neon strobe lights going on. And it was just a total little psychedelic experience right there in this trailer. And we said, what the hell is this? And he said, well, this is, and over in the corner was this like little bed. And so we said, well, what is this? And he said, well, this is where I rented out to the certain members of the local police department to bring their hookers to. It's how I make a little extra money. Well, we just kind of stood there with our eyes open and going, "Oh my God, what a comical! You couldn't have written this in a script." On one hand, here's my father with this trailer praising Jesus everywhere, and on the other hand, he had this trailer right next door where he rented it out to the certain members of the local police department to bring their hookers to. Oh, what a strange, weird experience that was, and actually quite humorous and comical. So it was praise Jesus in one trailer and praise the hookers in the other trailer. Quite funny.